She became invisible at 62. Catherine stood in her closet staring at black and beige. Safe colors, she thought. But safe had become invisible. For months, she'd catch her reflection and see shadows where her face should be. Color was stealing her light. Not because of her silver hair or changing skin. The real culprit? Those practical neutral colors everyone recommended. The very shades meant to help were actually hiding her. What she discovered wasn't just another fashion tip. It was a psychology-backed method that transformed how people saw her. The difference between being overlooked and being truly seen isn't about trying to look younger. It's about understanding how specific color combinations work with mature skin. 3 specific combinations unlocked her visibility. These weren't random pairings. Each one worked with silver hair, not against it. Each created a specific emotional response. And each was backed by color psychology research. That fashion, experts rarely discuss. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which 3 unexpected color combinations can make you feel visible again after 60, and why they work on a psychological level. The fashion industry doesn't want you to know this. Instead of understanding how mature skin interacts with color, most advice focuses on hiding, camouflaging, or trying to look younger. But what if the path to being seen is actually simpler? Have you felt this invisibility too? Type yes if you've ever felt overlooked because of your age. I read every comment, and your experience matters. What we're told to wear after 60 isn't random. It's by design. Have you ever noticed how fashion advice changes dramatically once we cross that invisible line into our 60s? Suddenly, vibrant colors are replaced with sophisticated neutrals and elegant basics. There's something happening behind the scenes in the fashion world that few people talk about. My friend Sarah worked in the fashion industry for 15 years. She told me something shocking. The color palettes designed for women over 60 aren't created to highlight our natural beauty. They're specifically designed to make us recede into the background. The light reflection principle changes everything. As our skin matures, it interacts with color and light in completely different ways. The combinations that worked beautifully in our 40s and 50s create an entirely different effect now. Not because there's something wrong with us, but because of simple light physics. I came across a fascinating study from Boston University while researching this topic. Researchers found that women over 60 wearing traditional age-appropriate colors were interrupted more frequently in conversations. And get this, their opinions were remembered less often compared to when the same women wore certain color combinations. Wait, did you catch that? The same woman saying the same things was treated differently based solely on color choices. We've been solving the wrong problem all along. For years, we've been told that feeling invisible is just part of aging, something to accept or fight with. Expensive creams, complicated makeup routines, or even cosmetic procedures. But what if the answer has nothing to do with changing our appearance and everything to do with understanding color relationships? Are you ready to see the exact combinations that change everything? Combination 1, navy and soft white, the confidence pair. This first combination is probably hiding in your closet right now. But there's something fascinating about why it works so differently than what we've always been told. We've all heard that black is slimming and sophisticated. But here's what nobody mentions. Black actually steals the light from your face. I noticed this myself. Whenever I wore black, people would ask if I was tired. When I switched to navy, they'd comment on how well-rested I looked, even when nothing else had changed. Navy does the exact opposite of black. It sends light toward our faces. While black creates shadows, navy actually highlights our natural coloring. And when we pair it with soft white, not harsh, bright white or yellowy cream, something magical happens. It creates what I think of as a light frame around our faces. I was skeptical about this until I saw it with my own eyes. At a dinner party, my friend Margaret wore a navy blazer with a soft white blouse. Throughout the evening, I noticed people maintained eye contact with her longer than usual. When I mentioned this later, she laughed. Ever since I started wearing these colors together, people actually listen when I speak. Why does this work so well for us after 60? It's not just about how others see us. It's how we feel when wearing these colors together. When our clothing works with our natural coloring instead of against it, we naturally stand taller and speak more confidently. The fashion industry would rather sell us expensive creams than share this simple truth. The right colors create presence. You probably already have these pieces in your closet. Consider a navy cardigan over a soft white tee with jeans, or maybe a navy dress with a soft white scarf. Even a navy skirt with a soft white blouse works beautifully. Many women in our online community have mentioned that silver jewelry and pearls seem to complete this combination. They reflect even more light toward the face. The results feel almost magical. People maintain eye contact longer, they remember our comments, they engage with our ideas more thoughtfully. This combination isn't about looking younger. It's about being seen for who we are right now. Combination 2. Burgundy and soft rose, the authority pair. Pink? At my age? That was my first reaction too. But this isn't about looking girly. It's about something much more powerful. Remember those meetings where your ideas weren't getting the attention they deserved? This combination seems designed specifically for those moments. Being seen is just the first step. Being respected and valued for our contributions feels even more important sometimes. Burgundy creates an interesting effect that I never expected. I read about a color psychology study where they found that deep, rich burgundy communicates competence and wisdom, but unlike black, it doesn't create distance between people. Instead, it creates what they called warm authority. People notice you, but they also feel comfortable approaching you. Here's something that surprised me. In the study, people recalled speakers in burgundy 38% more accurately than those in black. No wonder so many women in leadership positions gravitate toward this color. Now about the soft rose. It's definitely not the same as pink. Traditional pink can look jarring against mature skin, but soft rose has subtle depth that harmonizes with the natural changes in our skin tone after 60. It's a color with character rather than just brightness. These colors seem to love silver and gray hair. Instead of fighting against our silver, they actually enhance it. So many of us have spent years trying to work around our gray hair, when certain colors actually make it look more elegant and intentional. I've seen this combination work beautifully in so many ways. A burgundy cardigan with a soft rose shell underneath. Burgundy pants paired with a patterned top containing soft rose accents. Even a burgundy dress with a soft rose scarf creates this effect. Women in our community have mentioned that gold and copper jewelry seems to enhance these colors beautifully, creating even more warmth. The effect professional settings feels transformative. My neighbor Eleanor started wearing this combination to her community board meetings. For years, she told me, I'd make suggestions that would get ignored, only to have someone else say the exact same thing 5 minutes later to everyone's approval. After switching to burgundy and soft rose, she found herself being invited to speak more often. The chairman actually asks for my opinion now, she said with a smile. My ideas haven't changed, just how they're seeing me. Combination 3. Emerald and Ivory, the connection builder. This is the combination that surprised me the most, and it seems perfect for social situations where we want to make meaningful connections. Have you ever walked into a room full of strangers and felt instantly forgettable? We've all been there, standing with a glass of wine while conversations swirl around us, feeling more like furniture than a person. This combination seems to change that dynamic completely. Emerald green creates what some call an approachability effect. Unlike navy, which helps us be seen, and burgundy, which helps us be respected, emerald seems to create connection. It feels like the most socially magnetic color for women our age, inviting conversation while simultaneously highlighting our wisdom and experience. I've noticed something curious at social gatherings. People wearing emerald green tend to get approached more often. I thought it was just coincidence until I started asking around and discovered others had noticed the same thing. The key seems to be pairing emerald with ivory, not stark white or yellow-toned cream. True ivory has a warmth that softens the brightness of the emerald without dulling it. Together, they create a harmony that's both sophisticated and approachable, dignified without being stuffy. A friend of mine wore this combination to her first social event after her husband passed away. For the first time, she told me, I didn't feel invisible. 3 different people asked for my contact information. Not all greens create this effect. It seems to be specifically emerald. Forest green can look drab, and mint can look juvenile. But emerald has a vibrant clarity that works beautifully with mature skin. It has just the right balance of undertones to bring our natural coloring to life. This combination works in so many ways. An emerald blouse with ivory pants, an emerald cardigan over an ivory top, even an ivory dress with emerald accessories creates the same effect. Gold jewelry seems to enhance this combination beautifully, creating an elegant look that never feels overdone. The social transformation feels remarkable. People approach more readily. Conversations flow more naturally. You're remembered after the event. This isn't about being the center of attention. It's about creating connections that matter. Which combination are you most excited to try first? Type 1, 2, or 3 in the comments to let me know. These combinations work even better when personalized to our unique coloring. I was talking with my friend Martha, who has beautiful silver hair but very different skin tone than mine. We discovered a simple way to figure out what works best for each of us. Here's what we found works for almost everyone. Look at the veins on the inside of your wrist in natural light. If they appear mostly blue or purple, you might have cool undertones. If they appear mostly green, you might have warm undertones. If you see a mix, you might have neutral undertones. It's not an exact science, but it gives us a good starting point. From there, we can make small adjustments to each combination. If you have cool undertones, you might prefer true navy, pure soft white, blue-based burgundy, and a slightly bluer emerald. If you have warm undertones, you might feel better in a slightly warmer navy, ivory instead of white, brick-toned burgundy, and a warmer emerald. If you have neutral undertones, you're in luck. Standard versions of all 3 combinations probably work beautifully for you. We've also noticed that jewelry makes a difference. The navy and soft white combination seems to love silver and pearls. The burgundy and soft rose combination feels warmer with gold and copper. And emerald and ivory work with both gold and silver, depending on what feels best to you. There's something powerful about dressing with intention. I've started thinking differently about getting dressed in the morning. Instead of, what should I wear? I find myself thinking, how do I want to feel today? If I'm heading to a situation where I need to be heard, I reach for navy and soft white. If I need to have my ideas taken seriously, burgundy and soft rose feel right. And when I want to connect with others, emerald and ivory have become my go-to. Starting is so much simpler than I expected. Many of us already have these pieces in our closets. A navy cardigan we've had for years. That burgundy sweater we've always loved. The emerald blouse we bought but weren't sure how to wear. It's less about buying new clothes and more about combining what we already have in new ways. Our most radiant chapter isn't behind us. It's right now. These combinations aren't magic. They simply reveal what was always there. Our wisdom, our confidence, our unique presence. All they do is make sure everyone else can see what has always been true. That we deserve to be seen, heard, and valued at every age. One final thought I've been considering. We've been told that becoming invisible is inevitable as we age. But what if that was never true? What if we've simply been using the wrong tools to express who we truly are? Remember, we were never invisible. We just needed the right colors to help others see us clearly.